Rotating schedule for the fall can be a little overwhelming for some teachers as well as some students. This presentation is to help you ease into the process. I will show you a few sample teacher schedules as well as a few sample student schedules. But before we begin, let's talk about some terms that you may be. Our new schedule for the fall will be on a 10-day cycle. This will consist of 8 fat days, primarily Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and 2 skinny days, primarily a Friday. One typical week would consist of 4 fat days. This is where students would meet 6 out of their 8 instructional classes, and 1 skinny day. This is where students would meet 7 of their 8 instructional classes. Advisement would not meet on a skinny day. Fat days offer 6 instructional periods of 55 minutes each and a 30-minute lunch. Skinny days offer 7 instructional periods of 47 minutes each and a 30-minute lunch. The district will publish annually the day rotation schedule for the entire year. Some weeks will be adjusted due to scheduled vacation days, the start of a new quarter, testing days, and professional development days. To summarize, during a typical week, classes will meet 3 out of 4 days, with all classes meeting on Friday. On a fat day, students meet 6 of their 8 instructional classes, and on a skinny day, students meet all 7 of their instructional classes. A fat day has 55-minute instructional classes, and a skinny day has 47-minute instructional classes. Here we will look at a sample lower house student schedule. As you will notice, the classes have been replaced with core classes a typical lower house student would take. For example, science, PE, math, English, social studies, LOT, and art. Every lower house student will have advisement scheduled during period 7. So a typical student schedule will look like the one I have pictured here. A Regents science class will meet 8 fat periods and 3 skinny periods in a 10-day cycle. So in one typical week, a Regents science class would meet 4 fat periods and at least 1 skinny period. The other skinny period science class, shown here during second period on Friday, would alternate weekly with PE. A half-credit PE class will meet 3 fat periods and 1 skinny period in a 10-day cycle. As you will notice, study hall will meet on a fat day opposite a fat day PE. Any core class or elective class will meet 6 fat periods and 2 skinny periods in a 10-day cycle. So in any given 1 week, a core class or an elective class will meet 3 out of 4 fat days and will meet 1 skinny day. And again, primarily your fat days are going to be your Monday through your Thursdays, and your skinny day is going to be on your Friday. Here we will look at a sample upper house student schedule. As you will notice, it is very similar to a lower house student schedule. The main difference being is that an upper house student will have class period 7 and advisement period 8. A lower house student would have had advisement period 7 and class period 8. The two have switched. Also, an upper house student has a little more flexibility with electives that they may wish to take. Some electives are half-credit electives and only meet for a semester as opposed to the entire year. As far as the rotation goes, this means the elective class will meet 6 fat periods and 2 skinny periods in a 10-day cycle, or in any one given week, 3 out of 4 fat days and 1 skinny day. But because it is a half-credit elective, it would only meet for 1 semester, either the first half of the year or the second half of the year. As far as the rotation goes, for your core classes, it is consistent with the previous slide. Most core classes will meet 6 out of 8 fat days and 2 skinny days in a 10-day cycle. That is 3 out of 4 fat days and 1 skinny day in any typical week. I hope that this presentation has been helpful for you. Just a few things to remember as we wrap this up. During a typical week, classes will meet 3 out of 4 days, with all classes meeting on Friday. A fat day has 55-minute instructional classes, and a skinny day has 47-minute instructional classes. The 4 morning classes rotate and the 4 afternoon classes rotate. The students will probably get the hang of this before we do, and students in the middle school are used to rotating.